Hey, SMB Nation, I have a special treat as I start to wrap up my trip in Washington, D.C. in the fall of 2018, just 5 days before the election. What a place to be. But I'm with a friend of the family, Jonathan Friebert. Sir,
Hey,
what is your... Well, first of all, for people that don't know you, apparently you went to college here for a couple degrees. Tell us about you.
Sure.
We'll talk about Microsoft, and then we're going to talk about what you're doing now.
Sure. So, nice to see you, SMB Nation. Glad to be back with you. Again, Jonathan Friebert. I went to the George Washington University, which is where we are right now.
Yes, sir.
I have an undergrad and grad degree from here. Spent some time working in Washington, D.C. I interned in the White House during the Clinton administration.
Yes, sir.
Worked for President Clinton in his administration after that. Have worked for PepsiCo and then was 12 years at Microsoft, and now I'm at a company called JDcom.
So let's talk about Microsoft. So clearly, it's a natural act for you to be politically active or involved in the politics, and so at Microsoft, what was your department? And then I want to talk about the community that you built.
Sure. So I was in the government relations department at Microsoft,
Yep.
and part of my primary responsibility was working with great partners like Harry to build a community of people who want to be active on public policy issues that impact the technology industry. So the community was Voices for Innovation.
VFI, the listeners will remember that. We rode that horse hard.
Yes, and you made great contributions to VFI. So VFI community of over 100,000 people who care about public policy issues that impact the technology sector. Very proud of the community, and it's still thriving even though I'm not at Microsoft anymore.
And you know what was interesting is I was just describing it as, I'm in town or just wrapped on the Ingram One Fall Conference over at National Harbor, and I was talking to a couple of fellas about VFI, and I said, no, it's non-partisan. So it wasn't so much about blue or red. I said, you guys were tackling issues, and you know your story best, but I'm going to remember maybe you had some H-1B1 visa conversations, you had some rural broadband. Are there other issues that you would have tackled that were non-partisan?
Sure. So I think that's a great point. It was really more about technology policy issues and really non-partisan. Privacy, cybersecurity, rural broadband, extending access to people, especially where they don't have as much access in rural areas, even in urban areas as well. So it was really about sort of growing the technology industry's voice, both in Washington, D.C., but also in the states and state capitals, and I think that was really important. We had some good times. Now, let's fast forward the movie. I'm going to call this your home away from home because I believe you're from Wisconsin out in the Midwest, but you lived here, you're back here, it sounds like you're comfortable here. So, sir, what is your story? What are you doing? So, I left Microsoft after 12 wonderful years, and now I'm with a company called JDcom.
Okay.
And JDcom is actually the third largest internet company by revenue in the world.
Wow.
I say it's the largest company that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah, and I have the webpage up on the screen over on the side. So is it an Amazon competitor? I did go study the site. So it competes with Amazon.
So I would say the best way to describe JD is it's a combination of Amazon and FedEx in that we do e-commerce, but we also do logistics.
Yeah.
And so it's a Chinese-based company, and let me just give you an example about what we can do in China.
Sure.
So in 99% of China, if you order something before 11 a.m., it will be delivered to you same day.
Oh, okay.
If you order after 11 a.m.
drones, or is it motorcycles, or?
It's everything. It's everything. If you order after 11 a.m., it'll be delivered to you next day.
Okay.
And so that's, while JD is a very strong e-commerce company, it's also a logistics powerhouse.
I was going to say, this is a supply chain story at some level, man.
It is. And so, what we do, we have 315 million people on our platform, primarily in China. We're growing now into Southeast Asia. We're looking to, some global expansion as well, and that's part of why I'm here in Washington, D.C. working for JD now.
All right, and with your permission, I'm going to include down below in the blog your LinkedIn link so people can discover a little bit more about you. But, sir, we rode that horse hard with VFI, and that's the cool thing is we've stayed in touch, and we're having a little bit of fun time for coffee. Folks, have a nice day.
Thank you.